Hello, America, and more importantly, good morning, KU. I'm Nick Siegel, and
I'm Emily Lasky.
And this is our first show this year. Little background about the show: we are a student-run show, and we will be giving you fun segments throughout the semester to watch. We'll have a news segment and a weather segment coming up, so you want to stick around for that. But this was a great weekend for basketball, I'd have to say, for KU.
Amazing, honestly, especially last night. That was such a crazy game. I couldn't even believe it.
Yeah, it was tough to watch at first, but then you realize, like, okay, we're probably going to pull out here when we got the momentum going towards the end of the second half.
Completely. Most important is our faith in KU. The second it went into overtime, I knew we had it. The bag was secured.
Yeah, definitely. So this is your first show here.
It's
How do you feel about that?
my very first show. To be honest, I simply have never been more nervous, probably for anything here at KU so far, because I am a freshman. So I've only been here for a little bit. But no, I'm pretty nervous, but I don't know, I feel good about it so far. How do you think it's going?
It's going good. It's going good.
All right.
I get a little uptight too. It's just because I don't really know what to do.
But you're kind of a veteran here. So do you have any, tips for me, what I should be doing, kind of what I can look forward to?
I'd just say be creative when you're here. If you have an idea, run it through Cal first, no surprises. And then try to make it happen, because you can really do anything. So like last semester I was lucky enough to hang out with Jeff Long in Allen Fieldhouse and eat ketchup with him. And that was a fun experience. November 22nd, you tweeted out, "Patrick, I'm a fan of @Heinz ketchup. I eat it with a fork." We wanted to see if you actually do that, so we actually have some ketchup and a fork ready for today, and I was going to try it with you.
You know, I'm a big fan of ketchup. This is Heinz. I appreciate you getting my preferred brand. Now, you should know that this drives my wife and daughters crazy when they see me just get a load of Heinz ketchup. Savor it kind of like a fine wine. Yeah. But this is outstanding. I think this is probably last June's vintage of ketchup. I think they probably bottled this last June. It's very good.
Did I just witness you and our new athletic director eating a plate of ketchup?
Yes, and one of the funny parts about it is after the interview was over, I was just like jokingly asked, like, "Hey, if you want the bottle of ketchup, you can take it." He's like, "Yeah, I want it," and he took an entire bottle of ketchup home with him.
Okay, well, I guess, I know, I love learning little tidbits about our staff here, and that's probably the most interesting one I've heard so far. What was that experience like in general?
I was told to be quiet and not laugh, to not mess up his audio, and that was honestly the hardest time of my life, was to not laugh, just because I was expecting to be uptight, and it's just like, this dude is weird as hell.
Are you a big ketchup guy?
Not really, no. I had to force myself to eat that, so it was fun.
Okay, so not only were you eating a plate of ketchup, but it was also just forceful and horrible.
Yeah.
See, for me, that's my worst nightmare. I hate ketchup.
Really?
It's like that interview, as funny, I think I would do it for the comedic purposes, but still one of just my worst fears.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you that students can do anything here, and that basically if you have an idea, to try for it.
That's so true, but do you know what I'm even more scared of, even than ketchup?
What's that?
The flu.
Oh yeah, that's been going around campus.
Oh, it's been bad. I know that I'm seeing people all around my dorms with just medical masks, and I mean, I appreciate that. If you have the flu, go get yourself a medical mask ASAP.
Yeah, and if you ever want some tips, talk to our producer D. He's got some great tips on how to keep your hands clean.
Oh,
he wanted us to emphasize to please wash your hands.
Please wash your hands. Big hand washing advocate. Oh yes. Hand sanitizer. Oh, my favorite, Clorox wipes. Just everything. Door handles. Someone asked for a pencil, Clorox wipe.
Really?
Everything.
All right. Well, that's all we have for now. Stay tuned, and we got the news coming up. Actually, an interview. I was wrong. An interview after this.
An interview.
shop local in the heart of the city, you support the people that make our community thrive. The money you spend here stays here, in this place we call our home. Lawrence, Kansas, where there's good old-fashioned hometown pride. Eat local, drink local, shop local.
Welcome back. Today we have Zach Shepard and Emma Bascom, and they'll be talking about their podcast. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
So can you tell us a bit about how it started?
It really started with our relationship, just being friends and how we talked about sports every day. And Emma brought it to my attention that she wanted to do a show and wanted to do a podcast. And, we thought it'd be fun to make a show based around our relationship and the things that we'd normally talk about on a day-to-day basis.
So how does it go about making the process?
Well, really, we're doing a lot of research, and it's kind of a conversation. Like, you're basically listening to us just talking, how we would normally talk. So if I see breaking news, and I'll text it to Zach and say, oh, we should definitely talk about this, and that's a lot of just the research aspect of it, is just us talking.
Right. It really is centered around our friendship and the way we would handle it just in a day-to-day setting.
So you come up with your creative ideas from like stuff you get from real television? Yeah,
anything that we see online, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, ESPN, wherever we see it, if we'd want to talk about it, then we're going to talk about it on the show.
Okay, so what about your relationship before the podcast?
Well, Zach was actually my TA for geography, and then we became friends pretty quickly after that and bonded over geography and sports, and then that sort of segued into I became a TA, and now we do the show together as well.
That's awesome. So if you could have one person guest star on your show, and it could be anyone, it could be a celebrity, who would it be?
I think right now I'd want to get Les Miles on the show. Just because he's so new to the University of Kansas, he's, it's seen as a new era for our football program. I think he'd be a really interesting person to talk to right now.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Les Miles, Bill Self would be really cool. If we could get those two, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it's hard too because, you want to reach out to these guys when they have time. You want to talk to them when they have time, but also when we have time to do it as well. So schedules don't always align up, and it's not always easy.
So when you're editing, how does that go for you guys? Do you ever have any issues or anything like that?
We're both perfectionists, so if we're editing or if we're talking and then we hear something that sounds kind of awkward, then we'll take a break really quickly, go back, listen to that segment, hear how that sounded, and then maybe Zach says okay, your wording on that was a little bit awkward, and we can edit that out and go through again and just make sure that it sounds smooth and it sounds like a conversation.
So do you know how many episodes you guys have done in total?
Yeah, we've done 13 episodes. Those are full-length episodes, and then we've done 2 short, we call them bit episodes or quickie episodes. They're just things that we wanted to talk about that we couldn't fit into the normal episode. So we put those out. We did a special for the Super Bowl. We did a special for trade deadline, and we're going to continue to do those as it goes.
So you guys have been going since November. So what are your plans for the future?
Continue developing it. We want to keep developing our audience. We're around 1,100 listeners right now. So to continue to develop that audience, to reach other platforms, get more interviews coming in, and really start integrating those into our shows. That's the next step.
So how would we listen to your podcast?
You can check us out on SoundCloud or on the Apple Podcast app. Both are at Easy Sports Podcast, or at Easy Sports on Twitter, and it's Easy Sports Podcast for both of those platforms.
Do you guys have a favorite show that you've ever done?
I think my favorite is the 2 quickie episodes where we talked about Nolan Arenado, avoiding arbitration, and the Super Bowl. I think those were fun.
I think my favorite episode that we've done is when I had my meltdown about Michigan playing Ohio State. I think that's episode 11.
Yeah, hail to the victors.
Are you a Michigan fan?
Yeah, I grew up around Detroit, so I've been a lifelong Michigan fan. Even though I go to the University of Kansas now, I'm still a supporter of U of M.
I'm also from Michigan.
So awesome, yeah.
Go blue.
Yeah, go blue.
Okay, and then my last question for you guys would be basically, what are you guys going to do in the future if you continue the podcast? I know you guys are not sports majors. Where do you guys plan on going with the current majors you have now?
Well, I'm a journalism major, so if I could continue to work on this podcast and develop it into a way that could help me in my future career, I'd love to do sports journalism. And I just really like that we're doing this because I think it's a good segue to a professional career, you know, maybe in this or maybe it leads to something else for me.
I have a job coming out of school with Toyota Motor Corporation, so that's what I'll be doing. I'll still be doing this with Emma. If this were ever successful enough to where we could do this full time and have it be our job, then great.
That'd be awesome.
But if not, it's a fun hobby that we have right now, and we're just going to keep going with it.
All right, thank you guys so much for coming and talking to us.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going back with the news.
Welcome back. I'm Darby.
And I'm Lauren. This is your Tuesday Good Morning KU News Update. Another government shutdown is looming over the Mexican border. The previous agreement that President Trump had the Congress with the amount of $1.3 billion, well short of what the president's demand of $5.7 billion. Republicans in the House are beginning to turn against Trump's deal.
Bob Costas told ESPN on Sunday that he was blacklisted from Super Bowl 52 by NBC because he was outspoken about the effects of concussions on NFL players. Super Bowl 52 would have been the last NFL game that Costas would have announced. In 2017, Costas told a crowd at the University of Maryland that the reality is that the game destroys people's brains.
A total of 18 million trees died last year in California. The cause was a combination of the drought and a bark beetle epidemic. Randy Moore, a regional forester with the USDA Forest Service, suggests a thinning of the trees to prevent the effects of the drought and beetles on California forests.
It took overtime and huge performances from freshmen Devon Dotson and Ochai Abaji, but the men's basketball team got just what they needed, an 82-77 win to pull the Jayhawks back within one game of conference-leading K-State. After hitting the halftime break tied at 37, Kansas started the second half with a big run, and they were up 12 with 9 minutes left. But TCU would come back to eventually take the lead with 3 minutes left in regulation. KJ Lawson hit a game-tying layup with 24 seconds left, forcing overtime. During OT, Kansas took the lead with 3:30 left and never gave it up. Dotson finished with 25 points, including 4 clutch free throws in the final minute to end the 4-game road losing streak. The Jayhawks will be back in Allen Fieldhouse to face West Virginia on Saturday at 3 p.m.
The women's basketball team lost a tough game last Wednesday as they faced the Kansas State Wildcats in the Dillon Sunflower Showdown. The Jayhawks led for much of the game, but before falling 72-62 in overtime. Seniors Austin Richardson and Shyla Leons led Kansas with the 16-15 points, respectively. The game had 9 lead changes until K-State went into a 19-2 run to close out the victory. The results weren't much better on the Jayhawks Saturday night, as they fell to number 14 Texas. Senior Kaylee Kavokovich led Jayhawks with the team-high 18 points, and the Longhorns were quick to earn a double-digit lead, and the Jayhawks were unable to close the gap. Texas took the win with a final score of 91-73.
And that will wrap it up for today's news update. Keep watching, and after the break, Adrian will be here with the weather.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Hello and welcome back to Good Morning KU. I'm Adrian Campa here with your weather forecast. Now, taking a look at current weather, we have a temperature right now of 36 degrees. It's mostly sunny out, but it's pretty windy. Right now we have winds coming from the west-northwest at 15 miles per hour, but the good thing is there's a 0% chance of precipitation. Now taking a look to the evening planner, we will see temperatures start to fall below freezing. So around 9 p.m., expect temperatures of 27 degrees and expect the winds to start to die down, so that's good. So it will not be as windy as it is right now. Now looking at our headlines, we can expect warmer weather returning in the forecast, but only for a few days. Now the Arctic air will return, so it'll be really cold again, and we can expect some accumulating snow. Now looking at our Valentine's Day forecast, we can expect high temperatures of 53 degrees and morning clouds, but the good thing is the sun will be returning for the evening. But as I said before, Arctic cold air will be returning Thursday evening. And it'll be pretty windy also, with winds coming from the southwest of 5 to 15 miles per hour. But the good thing is we will have a 0% chance of precipitation. So if you're planning on going out Thursday night, you will not have to have any rain or snow in the forecast. Now our weather pattern, this is the cold air I was talking about that will be coming down from the Arctic, from the North Pole. It will be pushing down to the southeast, and it'll bring a much cooler air that will knock temperatures 20 to 25 degrees below normal. So prepare for that cold air now. Now, our weekend forecast for Saturday, we can expect a high temperature of 32 degrees, mostly cloudy. For Saturday night, temperatures will be 19 degrees and mostly cloudy. And for Sunday, this is when we can expect some snow. 27 degrees, it's going to be AM snow showers, but some of that could potentially accumulate. Now looking at our extended forecast for Tuesday today, we can expect a high temperature of 41 degrees, a low temperature of 22, and Wednesday and Thursday we'll have spring-like temperatures in the 50s, but as I said before, that cold air will be arriving Thursday evening, so this is why for Friday through Monday we'll see well below normal temperatures, and for Friday especially we have a 70% chance of snow, where we could see some accumulating snow in the forecast. And again, Saturday there's a slight chance of snow, and also on Sunday and potentially Monday we could see some more snow. So it is starting to look pretty snowy this weekend. So pay attention to the forecast and remember to bundle up. And that's all we have for you today on Good Morning KU. Thanks for watching.